2022. We appreciate you all being here. Our opening will be provided by Councilmember Perry Oaks, who will then lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
So I hate to not take advantage. Well, I'm not like Councilmember Swan, who's going to talk no matter what, but John, anyways, but I can't let it go past, 102 years ago, that's a long time ago, the 19th Amendment was ratified in the state of Tennessee for women's suffrage, giving the women the right to vote after about a 70-year battle to make that happen in this nation. And I only bring that up, you're looking about what happened today because one of the major players was the state of Utah, and the efforts that were here to work towards that, which many thought would never happen because of polygamy and the work that was here, that was going on here in the state. But 102 years ago today, and so with that, I'll open with a prayer, if I may. Our Father in heaven, we're grateful for this day, and we're thankful for the opportunity which we have to be able to be here this evening. We're grateful for this great nation. We're grateful for the opportunity which we have to serve the members of our community. We pray for thy guidance and thy help as we attempt to do our best to do what's right for the residents of Kaysville. We pray for the leaders of our nation and our state. We pray that they might make better decisions and good decisions that are looking to help all those in this wonderful nation. And we say these things humbly in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen. Amen. So if you please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Councilmember Oaks. We now have a 3-minute period for, per speaker for public comment. Actually, we don't have anyone signed up for public comment. So we will move on to the presentations and awards. We have a presentation to Chris Montgomery for receiving his Fire Officer 1 certification. So I'll turn the time over to Chief Erickson to present that.
Residents of Kaysville, thank you very much for your time this evening. Chris, can you come up here, please? Leslie, thank you to you for putting up with him and all the stuff that he does. Thank you to your parents, Chris's parents. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. This is a very hard thing to achieve. This is a fire officer designation through the state. It basically drives you to get to at least your associate's degree. Although Chris is in a master's program right now, and probably will go on further. So Chris is our firefighter of the year last year. He has really spearheaded our paramedic program, and he's just doing great things for us. It definitely is a pleasure to have him. I'm very proud of him, and he does a great job for us. He really does. And you definitely earned this, my friend.
Thank you.
I'm just probably going to sound like a broken record here. I've got just people to thank is my parents for teaching me, how to work hard, giving me strong values in what I do and taking pride in what I do. My wife just kind of sticking with me through all the stuff to get this. There's a lot of late nights, a lot of extra days goes into this, and she put up with it, and then my in-laws, I have a very unique opportunity that I have good in-laws who have always been very supportive. So I just have a really great core group of people that have helped me out a lot, and can't do it without them.
Thank you so much. We appreciate you. That's great. Yeah, let's do a picture.
Same thing, right here. 4, 5, 6. Okay. Thank you, Pam. Thank you.
Congratulations. We're super proud of you. Thank you for that. We have another presentation for Employee of the Quarter. The award goes to Amanda Cross, and Director Belknap will present this.
It's just Josh. No, thank you, Mayor and Council. Appreciate the opportunity to be here. We've been really fortunate the last year or so with this program that allows the city to recognize a lot of the great people that work here, and there are a lot of great people that work here. That's not unique. In my department, I work with 23 amazing people. Love them dearly. But tonight, get to recognize somebody that I think everyone in our department especially loves and appreciates. Amanda has been with the city, I think 9 years. You said Amanda? So 9 years with Kaysville City. And Amanda is on the front lines of everything that Public Works does. So anybody that's had a positive interaction with Public Works, chances are it started with Amanda. Anything successful or noteworthy that we do either starts with Amanda or she's involved with the process. Can't say enough good about her, the appreciation that we have for her, how she conducts herself. She cares deeply about people, especially people that are in difficult situations and might not be at their best. Amanda exemplifies everything that it means to be a good employee of Kaysville, a good staff member. We appreciate her. Couldn't agree more with the committee's decision to award this to her. So just want to present this to Amanda, if you'll come up. If you have any words that you'd like to.
Well, I'm glad you didn't cry because I was trying not to. I truly feel honored to get this. I work with amazing people and I love my job and I just love working side by side with all these amazing people. I feel like Kaysville City is lucky to have everybody that works for the city. So thank you.
Thank you so much and congratulations. We sure appreciate great employees. Anyone else want to? Oh yeah, let's get a picture, Amanda.
That's a chance to shake your hand.
Yeah, I was surprised we did.
I feel like you should be in the middle here. Yeah. You're in the middle.
You go home, have dinner, and enjoy your night.
Don't get used to it, Lynn. We're not going to come down and do a picture of you.
All right, the next presentation will be presented by the Community Development Department. Melinda Greenwood is the director, and she will give us an update on what's going on.
I'm glad there's a few people here to listen.
Yes, I was speaking to our YouTube audience, especially also.
Well, I thought I would start off with just kind of the basics, talking a little bit about what community development does. And we are responsible for business licensing, the building division, which does plan reviews. We issue building permits, and then we also conduct building inspections. Planning and zoning also falls underneath us, and then code enforcement as well. So this is our department. We're rather small. As I said, we have a business licensing officer. Everybody knows Mindy. We're in the process of rebuilding our building division. Jim Day is our building official. He started with us in June. We have 2 inspectors, and we have 1 position that's vacant as of last week. So Jason Tubbs has been with us for about 3 years, and we are working towards filling that other inspector position. We also have permitting. Our front counter staff is Becky Argyle, who's the lead permit tech, and then April Olson just started with us on Tuesday, so we're happy to have her here. And then planning and zoning, Dan Jessup is our zoning administrator. And then also I mentioned we do have code enforcement. There's no one that's specifically dedicated to that role, so no names underneath that. One of the unique things about the community development department is that we generate a significant amount of revenues for the city, and our services essentially are meant to pay for themselves. And so that green line there, I'll go into a little bit more detail in a minute, but that is the last 5 years of building permit revenues. The gray line is our plan reviews. Blue is our business licensing revenues, and then the orange line is our planning and zoning fees. So I'll talk a little bit about the building division and the number of permits that we issue each year. We're hovering around 1,000 right now. You can see over the last few years that number's been ticking up each year. I did run some numbers, and over the last 10 years, our building permits have averaged a 10% increase year over year. There were a few years where you can see in 2010 to 2011, permits went down. They went down again in 2016 and 17. And then, of course, with the pandemic in 2020, people did a lot of remodels and renovations. I think the permits increased about 20% that year over 2019. But over that 10-year average, we are a 9% increase. So thinking ahead, next year in 2022, or this current year, we'll probably end up having, if that trend continues, about 1,100 permits. Most of our permits are residential. We have fewer commercial permits, and this just kind of breaks that down between existing tenant improvements and new commercial buildings, which is the blue. We have very few of those. And then the remodels are the ones that are coming in at a higher number than that. The residential building permits, again, you go back and look at this is history starting in 2006. We all remember how big of a housing boom we were having back then, and then things shifted in 2007. The last few years, we've had quite a few new home permits. The orange is the graph that shows the remodels. Specifically, here's the numbers on the new home permits that we've had since 2006. So in 2021, we had 160. And we had to fill out some information and provide it back to the league last month. And I estimate that there's probably about 250 entitled building lots out in the city right now. and probably about 125, 150 single-family residential new builds that are under some form of entitlement or under construction. So there is a lot going on out in the city, especially with building. We do have a very busy building department. Do want to thank the council for increasing our permit tech position from that 3/4 time to full time. I think that'll make a big difference with some of the, the burden that's been on the front counter staff. So I'll talk a little bit next about business licensing. We license around 1,000 businesses per year. This slide just shows the revenues, once again, received from the business licenses, the fees that they pay. We're just under $75,000 for fiscal year 22. So that was ending June 30th. The interesting thing about Kaysville is that our home occupation and our commercial permits are nearly even. You can tell on the graph there that in 2017 and 18, the home occupation permits were quite a bit higher, and they trended down in 2019, which is when the state changed some of the statutory requirements for business licensing. So a lot of those home occupation business licenses that we were requiring to get a license before no longer have to get a license. So that's like if you're a standalone insurance agent or an attorney that just kind of works out of his office or her office, you don't need to get a business license. You can get one if you'd like to, but you're not required to. So those numbers have dipped down, and then we're really hovering right around, almost 50% for the difference between the commercial and the residential. On the bottom there, just shows kind of a breakdown of, again, how many business licenses we've had in the last 5 years. Thought it was interesting just to kind of track a little of those, alcohol beer licenses, the food trucks. I think you'll see that go down in the future as well, because the state changed the laws this past session, and previously food trucks were required to get a license for each city that they worked within. Now, if they are licensed in Layton, basically they're licensed anywhere. So it's not a huge hit, but we'll probably see less licenses. They do have to they have to essentially pick a primary city that they would be licensed out of, but food trucks can come and go within the community, and that's they can do that without a license. Special event permits, also we do have a few of those throughout the year. And then temp licenses, those are generally speaking our fireworks stands. A little bit about the planning and zoning department. We also do receive some revenues from the applications that we take in. The calendar year 2021 or 2022, that last year, calendar year 2021, we processed a total of 74 items through the Planning Commission agendas. This year, we're at 28. Most of those, as you can see, are conditional use permits. And we do have quite a few rezones that have been coming through as well. The last thing I just wanted to talk about is code enforcement. That's also under our purview, but this is one of, I think, the most challenging aspects of our role, and also one that I think all of us like the least. We're kind of playing mediator between neighbors that are upset with each other and neighbors that don't talk to each other. I did provide all of our basically code abatement ordinance that's in the slide there. It's very simple and straightforward, which is good in many cases, because it gives us kind of an ability to interpret things broadly. But code enforcement is one of the things that really can get people pretty angry and upset, especially when people have junk and debris in their yard. It's something that really is a challenge, because no matter who we're talking to, they're upset. The neighbor's upset that their neighbor's yard is a mess, or that there's weeds, or that they never shovel their snow. And then when we go and talk to the resident who's violating the code, they're upset too. They're usually upset because a neighbor hasn't taken the time to come and talk to them about it, or they're upset that we think that they're in violation of an ordinance. So here's the last 2 years of ordinance, or the code enforcement violations that we've been tracking. And I actually thought, and I was going to ask Shane this, but didn't get a chance, but I believe that in between 2020 and 21 is when we had a full-time or a dedicated staff towards code enforcement, and then that person left. The funding for that position was reallocated to the city engineer position. So the numbers of those code enforcement cases have dropped significantly. I think that is probably why. But we are complaint driven, so we don't go drive around the city and look for violations. Most of our complaints come through the website on our, there's a form that people can fill out. And then we do our best, Dan and I do our best to address those code enforcement violations. It is hard because people, I think, have some very high expectations for what the city can do, and that's unfortunately not always the case that we can meet those expectations. Code enforcement, we always want to seek towards what we call voluntary compliance, and if we can give a resident, a property owner, enough time to get things into compliance without having to issue a citation or take them to court, that's always going to be our goal. But we do that process. We will contact, we'll try, and sometimes we have to hunt down a property owner, but we'll contact them, we'll let them know they're in violation. We'll give them a reasonable amount of time to clean up or take care of the issue that exists, and then we'll follow back up. If that hasn't been taken care of or remedied, we give them another kind of time frame, and so on. And so this is one of the things that, in my experience, frequently does come to elected officials, that you'll have constituents that'll come and complain to you about property in their neighborhood that's not being taken care of. And we even had someone come into the city this week and say that, this has been going on for years and the city's done nothing about it. And that's untrue. And I had to say, well, look, we've actually sent 3 letters. But a lot of times people want to remain anonymous with their complaints, and that can make things a little tricky as well. We do try and keep that anonymity as we can, but in the end, if something were to go to court, they'd probably have to be called as a witness. And so hopefully, we don't take any of these cases to court. That is kind of a last step, but that's always an option too. So that was everything that I had tonight to go over with you. If you have any questions, I can answer them for you.
Thank you for your presentation. I don't have any questions. Does anyone else? Thanks for the great job you guys do. You're really busy.
Is it time for my picture now?
No. Yeah. We have been studying your picture.
Oh, wow, thanks.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you, Melinda. All right. Conflicts of interest. Council, do we have anything to declare? No one? Okay. All right. Great. We'll move on to the consent agenda. I will remove agenda item A because we have a little bit more information and we want to discuss that next time. So do we need to make a motion to remove that?
The motion should just be, if you're okay with that, to just approve B and C.
B and C, okay.
A has some more work to do, if that's okay.
We've talked about both of them. Do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion that we approve consent items B and C.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Councilmember Oaks?
Aye.
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 Okay, motion passes. Thank you. All right, we'll move on to the action items. Action item A, preliminary plat subdivision approval for Merrill Estates located at 478 South Main Street for Mark Lund and Kelly White. I'll turn the time over to Melinda.
Thank you, Mayor. So yes, this evening we have in front of us the preliminary plat subdivision for 478 South Main Street. The property is zoned R18 and it's 0.5 acres. So they are, under the zoning code, they are allowed to subdivide into 3 lots. There is a minimum requirement of 8,000 feet per square, or per lot. They have 3 lots ranging between 8,001 and 8,269 square feet. I know you're all familiar with the property, but this is just an aerial shot of the location of the property down on Main Street, just north of the LDS Church there and across the street from Davis High School. And then here is a just a screenshot of the 3 lots that are being created. We have conducted a staff review of this item, both zoning and engineering, and find that it's been in compliance with our code. This item was before the Planning Commission on July 28th, and they recommended 5-0 to approve the subdivision. And the applicant is here this evening if you have any questions for them.
Okay, thank you. Applicant, would you like to come forward? Council, do we have any questions for them? Oh, do you have anything you want to present? No? Oh, okay, okay. Okay, and we don't have any questions? All right, well, we do have 3 people signed up for public comment on this item. I'll remind you that you'll have 3 minutes. There's no interaction from us to you, so you can make your statement for 3 minutes. There'll be a timer on the screen. When it stops, your mic will turn off. So please limit your comments to 3 minutes. I'll invite J.C. Johnson. Jackie Johnson. Will you please state your name? Thank you when you get to the mic.
Jackie Johnson.
Thanks.
Thank you again for letting us come and comment. We don't have such a big crowd tonight. Our Bruce Bittner, a longtime resident, passed away this week, and his viewing is right now, so most of our neighbors are there tonight. But we still have a concern just mainly about the safety. So happy that last time you supported our neighborhood in not having it go to a higher zoning. And our only concern now is that there's still the possibility of twin homes that could go into those very small lots for the possibility of 6, families there. So still a concern. I don't know how to handle that, but I would really appreciate your consideration when we're talking about just the same issues that we presented last time. So there's nothing new, just thank you for your consideration. I certainly hope that there's a good solution. So thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Will Walter.
Will Walter, I'm at 446 South Main, just adjacent on the north side of the lot. This seems like this is all coming to the goal line of finishing. It's been a long process for us and I won't claim to speak for the whole neighborhood, just for me and my family and our friends who are in the area surrounding the lot. We appreciate the council's interaction and efforts with us. There's been a lot of intensity in some of the conversations with the applicant and with certain of our neighbors. And I hope that as this comes to the goal line, that big picture, Kaysville residents can do what Kaysville residents do, and we love each other, and I can speak for me and my wife and our kids and our dogs. We will love whoever is just over the hedge from us. And this has been an exercise in civic education for all of us, and it's good to feel that your voice is heard as a citizen in front of those closest to you. And I just want to express appreciation to you all for that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Wen-Fei Yu?
Wen-Fei, 293 East, 475 South. Firstly, I want to say thank you to our city council and the mayor for your hard working for our city. And as for this application, I'm not coming to say yes or no, because the applicants, they are doing quite within the city code and fits the requirements. And but as you all know, whether they remain as 2 lots or split to 3, all the egress will still be facing the 475 south, so part of our community. So I just want to say our neighbors still have the thoughts and concerns on the future development. And our city council, you know better this than any of us the city code. So yeah, you will find it the best balance for this application. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, council. Do we have any comments? Questions? Well, we had questions already. No questions? Okay, all right. Are we ready for a motion?
Yeah, I'll
Okay,
make a
Gary,
motion.
thank you.
Yeah, I make a motion that we approve the preliminary plat subdivision approval for Merrill Estates located at 478 South Main Street.
I'll second.
Okay, thank you. We have a motion and a second. Councilmember Blackham.
Aye.
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 Okay, motion passes. Thank you.
Thanks, Greg.
Thank you for being here, and thank you, neighbors. All right. So now we are moving on to item B, adoption of the 2022 general plan, and I'll turn the time over to Melinda.
Thank you, Mayor. So we discussed this last month. I made the changes as directed. It's back before you, and if you have any questions about the changes that I made, happy to answer those. Otherwise, that's really all I had planned for tonight.
Thank you very much. Council, do we have any questions? All right, all right.
Can I? I'll make a motion that we adopt the 2022 general plan.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Do we have any comments?
Can I, ma'am?
Yeah, absolutely.
I appreciate the effort that's gone in by the staff on this. Taking our considerations, we've talked about it. I mean, I personally think it's a shame it wasn't adopted a year ago or so, you know, with all that went through. But I'm grateful because I've had the opportunity to read it through a few times, and thanks.
Thank you very much. All right, Councilmember, are we ready for a vote? Okay, Councilmember Adams.
Aye.
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 Okay, thank you. Motion passes. All right, Councilmember reports. Does anyone have anything they'd like to report?
Mayor, if I
Yes.
may, I was able to watch the EDC Utah meeting this week, and I thought it was interesting to learn about all of the different economic development options that cities have, and I guess I'm just excited to apply that going forward.
Thank you for attending that. It's great. Councilmember Adams?
I'd like to acknowledge the Boy Scout and wonder if, would it be inappropriate to have him come up and introduce himself?
Sure thing. Would you be comfortable doing that? Okay, absolutely. Thank you. Sure.
We just have, never have him.
Right, it is great to have you here.
It's great to have you here.
Thank you. So my name is Greg Adams. We live up on Oxford, and this is my son Bridger. He has joined the Troop 407 who is run by Martin Gunnarsson. So maybe a close neighbor in the area, we understand up there. So we're happy that the city supports the Scouts for the opportunity that we've had in the 4th of July parade to march in the parade with the flags, and the council support in our efforts to help serve the community. So thank you very much for your support. And as a father and as a leader, I'm just grateful that the scouting program is here, because it's fun to watch my son grow and develop in leadership capacity, and he loves it too. So,
well, thank you.
Say hi to them. Say hi to the council members and tell them thank you for their service. Thank you for all of you.
Well,
what's the scout? Is it scout oath, or does he know? Do you know the oath?
Do you want to do the law?
Or the law?
Yeah.
Trustworthy, loyal, helpful, friendly, courteous, kind, obedient, cheerful, and deep, brave,
and always hungry, right?
That's right.
Always hungry.
Thanks for coming, man.
Thank you so much. And if you need anyone to present, I'm sure any of us would love to come and speak to your troop. So let us know.
We'd love to have that.
Okay.
Thank
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Great, John. That was great. Anyone else have any council member reports? Okay, Shane and I had the opportunity to attend the UAMPS, maybe that was your presentation, sorry. The UAMPS conference with some of the guys from the Power Department. It was interesting, and we learned a lot about how things work. At least it was educational for me. They already knew everything, but. And we have an opportunity for the Youth City Council to participate in the Scarecrow Festival hosted by USU. So next Thursday, they are going to put together a couple scarecrows to represent Kaysville City. So we're excited that they're going to participate in that. All right. Shane, do you have anything?
I just wanted to mention that we didn't approve that consent item A, and Mayor and I did attend that conference, and one of the presentations was about outage management software. So someone from Lehigh presented a different brand that we weren't familiar with. So we just wanted to take a couple more weeks, and I just wanted to express to you how excited I am about the possibilities of interacting with our community with texts, emails, during outage situations. We're not making any promises right now, but it's just looking so positive, and Ryan's taking a lot of his time in vetting this out, and Brian Johnson too. So that'll hopefully come back to you at the next meeting. We'll have something more definitive for you, but pivoted a little bit, but I'm just so excited about it. It should be so fun.
Well, thanks for that, Shane. And sometimes, we go to these conferences and think, oh, gosh, do we really need to do it? But great things happen, and we learn some great information from other cities, which is what happened in this situation.
And some of that conference was really boring.
Yeah.
But
some of it was a little bit boring. But
How was your conference, Nick? You got a lot of sun.
Mine was good.
Yours was
I went
good.
To Mesquite. It was Mesquite, but
good.
It was good. I learned a lot.
Why are you so tan?
Was it mostly outside?
You look healthy and refreshed. It's great.
Thank you. I feel healthy.
Good. All right. Well, thank you, everybody, for being here.
Mayor, may I ask?
Yes, Councilmember
So
Oaks.
from the UAMPS conference that you all attend, are there concerns about brownouts, migrating here from, like we're seeing in other parts of the Mountain West?
No, we don't see those concerns. Our concerns are mostly financial, in that we are paying a premium for that peak power that we have to use during the summer. We had a little bit of an issue with the IPP plant during the legislative session, and that's power that we can call back. We can take it and then put it back and give it back to California. So those are some of our issues, but as far as not having enough power or brownouts, those kinds of things, we shouldn't have those situations.
Okay. All right. Thanks.
All right. Thank you, everybody. Do we have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
That was 40 minutes.
Are we good or what? That was great. You guys.
Structure.